Hi there and welcome back to my channel. Today's recipe may be the easiest and the shortest I've ever done on my channel, but when it comes to flavor, it is way up there. We're going to make chili beans. Now, chili beans are not to be confused with chili with beans. Chili beans are pinto beans that are cooked with spices, chili powder being one of them. I'm making them today in the Instant Pot, and I like to make my chili beans in the Instant Pot because I believe by pressure cooking these beans, it forces those spices and flavors into the bean. After we're finished, we're going to turn these into refried beans. Now, I love refried beans. We use them in burritos and we use them when we make tostadas, but the refried beans in the store, unless you buy fat-free, are usually loaded with lard. And I'm just not a fan of saturated fat, and I'm not going to put that in my body. So I just take the chili beans and I turn them into refried beans. This is super easy, like I said. It won't take long at all, so let's dive in. I've added my water to the Instant Pot, and I'm adding my pinto beans. And I washed my pinto beans really well to remove any stones that might be in them and any dust from the harvesting and the processing of the pinto beans. Now I'm going to add some spices and enchilada sauce, and I just use my favorite enchilada sauce. I am working on a recipe for my own enchilada sauce, so I don't have to buy it in the store anymore. It's just got some unnecessary ingredients in it, and the cost has just doubled over the last few years. I'll let you know when I get that enchilada sauce recipe perfected. Now let's toss in our spices. All we need is garlic powder, and I'll put all the measurements below so you don't need to jot anything down. Taco seasoning, and you can buy taco seasoning in the store. I make my own taco seasoning. If you want the recipe for that, you can click the link down below. Dried onions, and I like dried onions over fresh onions because they are a little bit more intense. And chili powder. I don't add any salt to this recipe because I want to salt my beans after they've cooked. If I add a lot of salt to it now, the salt will all go into the beans and I won't be able to actually taste the salt. And I do like a little bit of salt in my food. So by adding the beans at the end, the salt is more on the surface of the bean and you get more salt taste without eating as much salt as you would otherwise. I'll just give this a quick stir. We'll put the lid on it and we'll set it to pressure cook on high. All right, making sure my pressure valve is closed and setting this on 40 minutes. And I'm turning off the warm feature, and we'll let this pressure cook and then do a natural release. My chili beans are finished. And now I'll add some salt. And I'll just give these a quick taste and see how that salt level is. They're great. Yum. Now I'm gonna take these beans, just a couple spoons, and puree them with my immersion blender and have my refried beans. These are a powerhouse of protein, fiber, and flavor. We love refried beans and we love tostadas. This is so easy to put together, and these refried beans freeze really well. I always like to make a big batch and just put them in the freezer. And anytime I have a recipe that calls for refried beans or I want to just make a quick meal, it's one of my go-tos. Add a little bit of crunchy cold lettuce. Some green onions. and some fresh tomatoes. I really love these with my pico de gallo. If you want to try my pico de gallo recipe, just click the link below. And a little salsa. That is so yummy. I hope you give this chili bean recipe a try. If you do, let me know how it goes in the comments below. And if you enjoyed our time together, please click the like and subscribe so you won't miss the next recipe, and I'll see you then.